Erik Johnson, to see it all questionable, or are you going to hold him out?
He's not going to play tonight. He's that illness that's gone through a few guys on the team has hit him, and he's in the hotel room, so not in a position to go.
Who will take on some of the PK responsibilities with him out?
Yeah, again, when you have to fill a bigger void, in that being the situation, penalty kill, I think it's a collective challenge, and I think guys are ready to step up. Clifton's done more, and Darlene and Yoki, so I think we're still in a good place. But yes, that's a big area that Erik's been very good for us.
What has gone into Peyton Krebs' improvement in the face-off circle? It seems like, especially this year, he just continues to get better. Last several games, he's been really good.
Yeah, I think it's a progression of competitive, determination to be better. He's been dialed in on how to improve in that area, and he's a talented guy. So, I think it's just been the progression, foundation being his compete, and targeting of I want to be better in this area.
Does a lot of studying go into that too in the film room?
It does. It does. Pregame even, who you may be matched up and how they're taking draws on the other side. And there's so many nuances in face-offs, from linesmen, from dot, from side of the ice to which dot you're on, to wingers you play against. But yeah, there's lots and lots of detail. It takes a long time to become familiar with all those nuances. Again, linesmen drop pucks differently, and they drop pucks in different areas of the dot, and even building relationships, to be honest with you, because you see so many guys get kicked out, and linesmen are judging the standard, and sometimes there's a little more leeway to a guy they've known for a longer time as well. So it's one of those areas that you can run that fine line of trying to cheat before the puck even drops, that veteran players have an advantage there by virtue of the experience.
You talk a lot about playing direct. Is Boone Jenner a guy that exemplifies that, plays direct and gets results out of it?
Yeah, it's tough for me to comment on other players and other teams. Other than guys I've coached, I've shared some information with that, but I want to stay away from that one.
Don, Alex Tuck has obviously had a nice run here. What have you liked about his game without the puck? Maybe that's enabled him to get these opportunities or put himself in a position to have this success here.
Alex is always willing and takes a lot of pride in his play without the puck. You see him, cover up a lot of times on back checks, just a full-out sprint. Usually when he's full-out sprint on a back check, he's probably covering up for a mistake that happened up ice by somebody else, and he just has enough speed and range to get it. But he has absolutely, we've talked a lot this year, Alex and I, about positioning without the puck. Maybe even importance of controlling his momentum. He's a guy that carries momentum a lot in his stride, and then he can get to full speed quicker when you have a little bit of momentum rather than a complete stop and start. And there's nuances to learning how to do that, how to maintain momentum but not pull yourself out of position. And I think he's really worked on that and become much more efficient in that area to the point where I think he's less surprised when pucks pop out and he can get to now than maybe earlier.
What have you thought about Peyton's line with Zach and JJ this past couple of games?
Every time we put three young guys together, the two young guys that I consider young guys that aren't on that group are Cousins and Quinn, and we know the impact of Cousins, Quinn, and Peterka. Benson has burst on the scene this season. Krebs has been really working on his foundation of all what I said, gaining more experience on a fourth line with Jurgensen's and Okposo. So I think it's time to move him up in a different role. The five young guys, Cousins, Quinn, who are not with the trio now, and then Peterka, Krebs, and Benson, who are together. Every time we put those three young guys together, in any combination, you see the energy, speed, skill. It's a window into I guess the future of this franchise with how much talent there is. And Krebs has been great with Benson and JJ, and dynamic, and they're dangerous, and I know they command respect from the other team as a trio, and that's nice.
We all know what happened in the first game against Columbus, but in the second game, you win it in overtime. Kind of a hard-fought game. Is that in that game you won? Were you just better in every aspect of the game than you were in the first one?
Certainly. The first one, when there's a score separation like that, You know, it's frustrating, it's aggravating. You end up playing on your heels, and things tend to look worse as the game proceeds because you just you know the week or two later or whatever it was we played. Obviously, that was fresh on our minds, and we needed to make sure we had more detail and structure, and that's the way we played. And so two very different games, but this is a team that you have to respect. Like any team in this league, they're very, very dangerous if you don't play the right way. And every night you need to play, you know, a little bit different with each team. You know, they're similar to the team we played the other night in Montreal. They got some guys that can sling the puck around the ice, and if you don't, you get caught chasing the puck, they're going to zip it through you and seam you and you know, get you running around. So, you know, you have to play very disciplined against certainly their skill guys. It's just multiple lines. But against their team.
Montreal likes to create offense from the back end, and to a point this team seems to also. So does it help that you just played a team that is like that as you prepare for this Columbus team?
Well, I'll tell you the answer to that after the game, but it should. It does make preparation is very similar or has more similarities. Zach Werenski is a guy I did coach and know him, spending a couple years with him, and he is a guy that demands respect. He's an extremely talented hockey player. In the Dahlin category, and you know, so he's a game changer. He makes plays offensively, and he can strike quick and is dangerous in all areas, offensive zone and off the rush. So yeah, they're a talented group.